Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Today's project is a little bit of a sad one, but it's also kind of a band-aid, something I'm trying to do. So you'll see out in front of me I've got a whole bunch of pots, and the soil does look used, which it is. These are the pots for all of my plants that didn't make it from our moisture and disease issues from the small house. Actually, it's not all of them. It's a bunch of them. So I'm going to be going through most of the other flats and trying to salvage something from that loss that we had. So our patented plant material, it's way too late in the season to get new stuff. You know, some of this was replacements for a few of them where we got credit, but the rest of it is just stuff that died far enough along the line that there was no recovery for it. So we're just out on that, which is why you really have to control moisture and water and temperature. And it's very, very hard when you've got an overcrowded situation in your greenhouse. So this is just a hazard of this year. So that's a lot of money that we lost there. So we're going to try to salvage that by reusing these pots with some of the plugs that I have available. And if you've seen the recent videos, what I've been doing is I've been doing my coleus. So this is a shade plant with very, very pretty leaves, and we're going to take the plug trays that I've had in our germination chambers, and we're going to plant those plugs in amongst these used pots. The soil wasn't used for very long, so we should be okay. This isn't like multiple years old. This is just all this stuff from this season. So we're going to go ahead and interplant in here. If we lose a few, so be it. This seed was cheap. So let's go ahead and put some of these in here. Is I'm going to go through this tray and I'm going to just sort out the ones that I kind of consider the specials. You know, the ones that have decent variegation or coloring, something that's unique that I know that my customers will want to purchase and enjoy. Some of these ones that are straight green, I'm probably not going to plant those in here because I know I will struggle to sell them. So I want to make sure that what we're planting in to recover our costs is something that we can, in fact, sell, because we're going to put a little bit of time and energy into these, so we want to make sure that we're getting something out of those. So I'm just going through, just grabbing the specials. I think I'm going to grab one more here, and I'll set this off the side, so if I get others, I can do that. That tray's off here. And this tray is absolutely chock-a-block full of specials. We'll bring that one in a second. But let's get these planted up. So when I'm reusing soil, I'm churning it up nice and deep. This is not a second season, this is just first year soil, and the plants really didn't get a chance to get going in here. All of our nutrition is supplied through liquid fertilizer, so we're not worried about that. We're just trying to get all of these in here to recover our soil and some of our cost. There you go. Okay, let's get 5 more out of there. And again, we're only going to go for the specials. If it's not special, we're not going to grab it. Look at some of those stunning leaves. Try to make sure we get all of the specials. Anything with the bright colors in there, those always sell. So we'll make sure that they're in a pot. Ones that have interesting variegations, those we'll grab. Okay, so let's get these planted up. We'll move this tray out of the way so you can see the next batch. This isn't something I would normally do as a commercial grower. This is something I do as a high school teacher because, bottom line, it's very, very important. And this is a great lesson for your students to learn about managing loss. There you go. There's a tray of those. We'll get them watered up, and I'll show you those in a few days to see how they respond. Move our recycled material over here, and we'll start poking out more of the specials. You know, we probably should put a few green in there, because you do need to have some green, because if you put green in with the dark, then it makes the green and the dark look better. Or anytime there's a twofer, 2 seedlings in 1 plug, you want to grab those because people see they get mixed varieties, they see it as gaining value. So I'm going to put those in there. These definitely needed to come out of this tray. There you go. Hope you're seeing these as they come out. Some of these fantastic colors. If you don't grow coleus, you should. You should add that to your inventory of plants that you grow each year. And I was pleasantly surprised this year when I got these packs of coleus. We got them planted just right, planted them in January, and they've been growing the entire time, and they are perfect timing right now to get into 4-inch. As the temperature is up in the greenhouse and the sun has been out, and that means they will grow quickly. And I wouldn't say that this is free money. This is simply just recovering money that you would have lost. So this is kind of my backup. Normally I do this with like marigolds, but we did not have space to grow marigolds this year, so there's no marigolds. These will all go with our other basket fillers, so anything we don't get put in a basket in time, like in the next day or two, it's going to become a basket filler, and we'll sell them as a 4-inch. So I think we've got about 300 baskets planted. The goal was 400. But spring break occurred before we got there, and then also with the loss of a lot of our primary plant material, it's going to make it hard to reach that 400. So we'll do what we can. Definitely going to recover with this. There's another flat there. We'll get that out of the way. Throw another 16 up here. I'm going to pre-dig some holes in those. Some pretty damp soil, so we won't have to water this much. They'll be just fine. Coleus are in the mint family, so moisture is not going to be an issue for them. They are definitely a moisture lover. They actually don't like to be dry. Bring this tray over here. I'm using a pencil to push these out of their plugs. You know, if you do that and you push them up from the bottom, and you're not pulling from the stem, it makes sure that you're not damaging the roots as you're bringing that plant out. It's just kind of a trick that my family has used for a long time. You'd call it, the old-timey word for it would be diddle stick, but I just call it a pencil because that's what I generally use. Because what I have available to me in large amounts here is pencils. I'm going to put a bunch of those light color ones in there too. If they're small, you can always do a twofer in the pot. Put one on one side, one on the other, and our customer will definitely like getting that bonus of having 2 plants in there. It doesn't cost me hardly anything at all to do that. Just something nice, make someone feel special. That's an interesting texture to that one. I'm going to grab one more, and grab this one over here, and then the rest of these we'll weave into baskets or something. Oh, I got 3 more pots hanging out over there. Get all these planted, and we'll get them watered in, and we're going to call it a night. Definitely starting to get dark. Yeah, that's interesting textured leaf on that one. Almost has a swirl to the leaf. Well, this is just recovering what would have been waste soil. We're going to turn it into a marketable product by interplanting amongst the dead plants. I pulled all of those off, tried to get all the mold removed if there was any. So I'll give these a perfect chance to keep going. There you go, there's that next flat. We'll move him forward, bring these other 3 in here, and then we'll pick out 3 nice coleus to go in this. 1. Oh, grab this one, there's your twofer. 2. Do 3 on that one. 1, 2, 3. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Conveniently, I have another flat that those can fit right into, or I did this previously, and there you go. That is how we are recovering some of our lost waste soil and turning it into a marketable product. Anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.